Hi everyone, thank you for taking the time to watch this webinar. This is the first of two webinars we're going to be conducting and hopefully gives you a really good introduction to the island of Kyushu. My name is Carolyn Nightingale and I work with Link Tourism here in Australia, and we're proud to represent the island of Kyushu in the Australian market. I'm sure, like me, everyone can't wait to jump on a plane as soon as we can, but in the meantime, join me as I share with you some of the highlights of Kyushu and learn how your clients can enjoy a truly authentic Japanese experience. So what awaits for you and your clients, and what can you expect? It's ramen, it's cherry blossoms, it's lush green hills with active volcanoes, and an abundance of welcoming hot springs to soak in. There's relaxing beaches, and of course delicious food and hands-on cultural experiences, plus so much more as you explore this warm and friendly island. Kyushu has a temperate climate and is known for warm, humid summers and mild winters, and making it easy to visit in all seasons. Of course, one of the most lovely times to visit is in spring, as it's cherry blossom season. And with temperatures ranging between 10 to 20 degrees, here in Kyushu, the spring cherry blossoms start to bloom around late March to early April, which is actually a little bit earlier than the rest of Japan. Summer is in June to August and has average temperatures of 25 to 35 degrees and can sometimes bring a little bit of rainfall to the area. Autumn is September to November and average temperatures with 15 to 20 degrees, and it's great for leaf viewing. And of course there's winter, December to February, with the average temperatures not too cold, with temps around 8 to 12, and with some areas where you can still experience a bit of snow. So where is Kyushu? Kyushu is the third largest island of Japan's 5 main islands, and it's the most southerly of the 4 largest islands. It's bordered by the East China Sea to the west and the Pacific Ocean to the east, and it's well connected to the rest of Japan and the world, with international ports and airports and direct access to the island of Honshu by Shinkansen and road. Kyushu is split up into 7 prefectures, with an extensive network of trains and buses within the major cities connecting each prefecture. Some of the more distant areas are easier to reach by car or even ferry. You can also fly to many of Kyushu's beautiful islands, including Yakushima and Amami Oshima. There are several rail pass options from JR Kyushu, and depending on your travel plans and your budget, you can get an all Kyushu pass, or if you have limited time, you can speed between major cities by Shinkansen to maximize sightseeing time. Cycling is also a great way to see Kyushu. There are routes to suit all levels, from quiet back roads through farming districts to challenging mountain courses. There's plenty of rental shops and bike share spots near major stations, attractions, and tourist information centres. How to get to Kyushu? I can't really tell you the number of flights at this point in time that there will be from Australia moving forward. However, you can reach Tokyo from Sydney in just over 9.5 hours. From Tokyo and Osaka, you can reach Kyushu in 2 hours or less, with each prefecture having its own airport. Fukuoka is Kyushu's busiest airport and is the gateway, with international flights also coming in from other Asian cities, including Singapore, Seoul, and Shanghai. Shinkansen, which is a hugely popular way to travel in Japan, operate around every 30 minutes between Tokyo Station and Hataka Station, which is the major train station in Fukuoka. The ride from Tokyo takes around 5 to 6 hours, depending on which train, and approximately costs you around $280. Compared to the flights, it takes a little bit longer and costs you more. However, if you like to see the landscape on the way, it's a great option. Also, if you hold a Japan Rail Pass, you may want to use this option, as you can ride it as much as you want on the bullet train to Fukuoka and maybe do some stops along the way. There are other transport options as well to get to Kyushu. If you have some extra time, you could think of travelling by bus. These are on Japan's comfortable highway buses, and they're the most cost-effective way to reach Kyushu. Most of the buses travel overnight and they depart from the major cities, including Tokyo and Osaka, in the evening and arrive in Fukuoka in the morning. The prices of the tickets are really reasonable and they start from around $90. This is a good option to look at if the flights from Osaka and Tokyo are full and the Shinkansen tickets aren't sold out. Although in saying that, you can always just take a non-reserve ticket and line up at the station. So they don't really ever sell out unless it's cherry blossom season or the golden week, when it's common to have over 100% occupancy. If you prefer the scenic sea route, you can reach Fukuoka by ferry from Tokyo in 3 days via the island of Shikoku. There are faster services available from Osaka and Kobe to Fukuoka, Oita and Kagoshima. You can also reach Fukuoka from Busan, South Korea, in just over 3 hours by the high-speed ferry. There is also a Japan Ferry Pass 21, which is a cost-effective way to travel to and from Kyushu and around Japan by ferry. Moving on to each of the prefectures, firstly is Fukuoka. With flights coming in from Tokyo and Osaka, Fukuoka is Kyushu's gateway city. It has a convenient subway system which can get you to and from the airport to all the main city attractions. With quick connections by subway and then JR trains, local and intercity buses, and even sightseeing taxis, it's really easy to get around the city. What you're seeing here is the Kawachi Wisteria Garden. It's a private garden located in the wooded hills and is famous for its large number of wisteria flowers, which are spectacularly presented. While in Fukuoka, some of the must-do activities are to take a stroll through the beautiful traditional Rakusuin gardens, take a visit to the Daisaifu Tenmagu Shrine, which is one of the main shrines and known for the god of learning. Here I recommend getting your fortune told and buy a good luck charm. Who knows what you'll learn. You can take a cruise on the Yanagawa River. It's about an hour to the southwest of Fukuoka, and it's famous for its network of canals. It's a great way to see the town as you travel on a small punt boat and listen to the talented boat punters singing their river songs. And whilst you're here, don't forget to try the local delicacy of eel, which is famous for the area. Another beautiful place to stop is the Ishima Peninsula. It's Fukuoka's little secret, and it's at the westernmost part of Fukuoka's prefecture. It's a small piece of coast where time really slows down. It can reward those who discover it with the beautiful beaches, exquisite food, and peaceful sunsets. If you come during the winter time, there's rows of temporary restaurants that pop up by the shore next to the fishing ports, and these are called Kagoku, which are oyster huts. They have delicious oysters and they're sold by the kilo, and patrons can grill them at their own table, and the huts, they also serve lots of other freshly caught seafood. Take a convenient 40-minute train trip from Fukuoka and you will arrive in the Saga Prefecture. Here's a great place to dive into deep, unique regional culture, and if you want to see some awesome artisanal crafts, local festivals, and plenty of natural onsen, Saga's the place to be. It's renowned since ancient times for the production of ceramics, and here you can take a trip through the villages of Karatsu, Imari, and Arita to discover all the different styles and types of ceramics and the places associated with them. Take a visit to Arita and see the main attraction, which is a full-size reconstruction of Germany's Zwinger Palace. This palatial museum and park in Arita is where you can learn about the history of the town's most famous product. In the park grounds is a studio where you can try your hand at making porcelain, you can take a sake tour, and you can visit a beer brewery. You can make a relaxing day trip enjoying the restaurants, cafe, and European-style gardens. The Saga Prefecture is known best for the production of sake. To try some of the best brands, you head to Kashima City in southern Saga. This area once was thriving with merchant houses, sake breweries and other shops, and the area is now dotted with lots of preserved historic buildings. The name Nagasaki is synonymous with the dropping of the second atomic bomb during World War II. You can reach Nagasaki by express trains from Hakata Station in Fukuoka, through Saga, then on to Nagasaki in less than 2 hours. Many of the international cruise lines also make a stop in this historical city, and the region is scattered with beautiful islands, which many of them are accessible by ferry. Whilst in Nagasaki, you can take a trip and visit Peace Park. This is where you'll see statues and monuments donated by lots of countries around the world that remind us of the importance of upholding peace. You can take a ferry to Gunkanjima Island. The name comes from a nickname meaning Battleship Island, and it was originally a coal mine which housed 5,000 people. And with so many people living in such a small area, every piece of land had to be built upwards, and it became to resemble a battleship. For any James Bond fans, you might recognise the site as it was featured in the 007 movie Skyfall. Also located in Sasebo City in Nagasaki is Haustenbosch, which was one of the unique theme parks in Japan and is in fact the largest in the country. It's also known as Little Europe and resembled the Netherlands in the Middle Ages, and it displays life-size copies of old Dutch buildings. It's definitely worth a trip to visit the virtual reality attractions along with canals, windmills and amusement rides. Oita Prefecture hugs Kyushu's northeastern coastline and is one of the country's best-loved regions for bathing, famous for its hot spring towns. The mountainous inland has hiking and cycling trails and is dotted with relaxing hot springs for the perfect outdoor adventure. A must-stop is a visit to Beppu City. This is a small resort town which is nationally acclaimed for its abundance of hot springs. Beppu is home to over 2,000 onsen, and the most famous among them are referred to as the Jigoku, which has the meaning the hells of Beppu. Not all of the hot springs, however, are for bathing in, and most of the spectacular of the hot pools and the boiling mud and geysers make up 8 hells of Beppu. All of these really are for viewing rather than soaking in due to the high temperatures in the water, and on the screen there is one of the most picturesque called Umijoku. It's a steamy blue colour due to the iron oxide, and it's got 208 degrees Fahrenheit temperature of the water. Another really picturesque place to visit is the onsen village of Yufun. It features lots of luxurious inns and has a great atmosphere, has a good shopping promenade, it's got lots of cafes, and it's famous for Lake Kinrin. A lot of the hotels in the area also allow day visitors to use their hot springs. So really you can just come here and soak away your aches and pains and tiredness and just lie around in the mineral-rich waters. The area is also known for unique religious sites such as Rikoju Manzen, and here you'll see elements of Buddhism, Shintoism and mountain worships all come together in one place. Take a visit to the Fukuoka temple, and here you'll be welcomed by a pair of ancient Buddhist statues which guide you into a fantastic tranquil forest beyond them. Miyazaki City and the airport are connected by express train along the Nishinan coast, which stretches along the southern end of the Miyazaki prefecture. There are only a few train lines that cross into Miyazaki, so car or bus is probably the best way to explore the area. Miyazaki is considered a home of the gods, with ancient legends told through the Kagura dance. Here you can explore dense forests, dramatic gorges, and hidden mountain villages. The landscape of Miyazaki is defined by a long stretch of coast, which is lined with golden beaches and spectacular rock formations, as well as a thriving beach culture, chock full of cafes, burger shacks, and surfers. It's known for its tropical palm fringed shoreline, and its temperate weather is great surfing, and it's a popular getaway. A must stop is a visit to the Tatakio Gorge. This spectacular gorge in northern Miyazaki was formed over 100,000 years ago, and it was following from the eruptions from the nearby volcano Mount Aso. You can see the gorge from above and below, and you can walk the paths and bridges that span the river. And for a unique up-close and personal look at the gorge, you can rent a boat at the south end and row along the Gokase River through the ancient rock columns. Another really interesting place to visit is the Oshima Shrine. It's hidden from view amongst lots of palm trees and greenery on the small island of Oshima, which is accessible by a bridge. The main approach to the shrine, as you can see in the picture, is marked by a large red torii gate and on the beach and next to the rock formation known as a Devil's Washboard. For the adventurous hikers, head to Kirishima Kinkawan National Park. It's home to a cluster of 20 active volcanoes all along the Kirishima mountain range. Next we travel to Kumamoto. The train takes about 40 minutes from Fukuoka, and train travel around Kumamoto is really fun with many special trains and scenic routes available. It's really easy to get around within the city. A bus takes visitors to main tourist spots for a small flat fee per trip, or you can get a one-day pass to hop on and hop off as you like. Kumamoto is really symbolised by two powerful landmarks. The first one is Kumamoto Castle, which is regarded as one of Japan's 3 most admired castles. It's conveniently located in the centre of Kumamoto City, a short 3-minute taxi ride from Kumamoto Station. It was actually damaged in the 2016 Kumamoto earthquake, and restoration works have been going on since then, and currently it's partly reopened to the public. And secondly, Mount Aso, which is Japan's largest volcano, sitting at over 1,500 metres above sea level. Here you have the opportunity to climb up to the volcano's peak and watch the crater constantly emitting gases, weather permitting of course. And for even better vantage points, there are also tours available for helicopter trips and horse riding, which is usually possible from March to December. The best way to travel to Kagoshima is via the Shinkansen from Fukuoka, which will take you around an hour and 10 minutes. There's a network of trains, buses and ferries which will get you around the region easily, and with ferry services also connecting the mainland with Kagoshima's many beautiful islands. One of Japan's most active volcanoes, Sakurajima, dominates the skyline of Kagoshima's main city. It's only 4 kilometres from the city, and you can often see the smoke billowing from the crater. It's actually been dubbed the Naples of Japan for its Mount Vesuvius-like volcano, and has come to symbolise Kagoshima. One of the big draw cards to this area is the hot spring town at the southern tip of Kagoshima called Ibusuki and Yamakawa. It's famous for its tsunamoshi, or sandbathing, and sandbathing has taken place in Ibusuki City for over 300 years. Here, the volcanic hot springs that line the coast of Ibusuki warms the sands up to 55 degrees Celsius. You lie on the beach and dress in a light cotton yukata, which is like a kimono, and have hot sand covering you up to your neck. And after about 10 minutes or so, you can emerge warm and relaxed, and it's also said to cleanse the blood. The stunning picture on the top left is Amami Kurosaki Beach. It's a beautiful destination for family vacations. You can go scuba diving and windsurfing, and the coral reefs along the coast is what gives the beach a unique, colourful landscape and its amazing blue waters. On the next few slides, we've put together a few sample itineraries to share with you. To do the whole island of Kyushu, we would recommend allowing around 2 weeks, but there's for shorter based itineraries and first-time visitors to Kyushu. Fukuoka is a natural base for exploring, with convenient connections to the rest of Japan by air and rail. You can spend a week exploring Kyushu's vibrant nature, delicious food, and soothing hot springs as you journey from Fukuoka through Saga, finishing in the bustling port city of Nagasaki. Another great way of getting to experience the island and its unbelievable scenery is to incorporate the rail travel. So whether you choose the super fast Shinkansen or the ultra cool A train, or even the timeless delights of a steam train, a trip by train can really enhance your visit to the island and also capture some amazing scenery along the way. And finally, if you have a little bit more time, you can experience Kyushu's natural beauty and power as you drive from coast to coast. This way you travel from Fukuoka's beautiful seaside all the way through the mountains and onto the hot springs of Oita. The best way to see everything is to rent a car. You'll see lots of signage which is in English, and of course these days you've got the trusty Google Maps and a sat-nav. But if you're not driving, the Yufun no Mori Express train, which is covered by the JR Kyushu Rail Pass, will also get you there in style. If you need any help or advice in which itineraries to choose for your clients, please just let me know and I can help recommend a suitable itinerary. So here are my details. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time with any queries you might have, or if I can offer an assistance. We've put together a number of resources and lots of additional information that can help assist you in selling this wonderful destination to your clients. So finally, I'd really just like to thank you, and we can't wait to welcome you and your clients to this warm, friendly island of Kyushu very soon. To conclude the webinar, we have a video to play which highlights some of Kyushu's breathtaking natural wonders and experiences, and I hope you enjoy it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard.